good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is, of course, How to Wrap on iOS. And today we're taking a look at Oscidia by 4Pockets. It is an incredible synth. There's a lot to go through, so strap yourselves in, baby. That's Oj. I can hear again. It's so much better. Oh, hello, I'm Jade, and this is How to Wrap on iOS. And, of course, I hope you're doing okay. I can hear, man. Oh. For those of you playing at home, yes, I've had a waterlogged ear, whatever it is, I don't know. Went to the doctors. I did have a large amount of fluid in my ear that was currently draining. So, yeah, by the time last night hit, it had drained, so we're all good there. Now we just got other stuff to worry about. But I can hear. Awesome stuff. Welcome. Thanks, Leela, for the dump and all that and the entertainment while I'm getting ready. Leela performs before me 3 days a week before this show, so you should sub to her. Brad Example. Hello, Bradley. Bradley, hello. Dave, Denise, hello. Ed B. Metal, Forest of the Wolf. We got Jamie in the house. Hello, Jamie. Ali Gratil is here. Who else do I see? We've got the Semtex Moo is in the house. Good to see you. Country Walking. Let fingers do the walking. Country Walking's in the house. Hello to you. Who else do I see? Thomas Christ, of course. There's Thomas. Hello, Thomas. Thomas is up next. You Rock is happening live today. Your most rockin' music. He's doing this stuff. You can do all this if you want. You know, you can join the Patreon. We've got giveaways for this app today in the Patreon. We do. Thank you, Paul. You rock. You can become a member as well. Songtamba, man, it's coming up. It's next week. Can you believe it? September, Songtamba. It's all going on. Joe Glenn, boom. Tremor Bear, boom. God, we got a cast of characters here today. Doug Kidder. And thank you all for hanging out. You absolutely worth it. This thing is sick. Automatically dumped. Thank you, Costa. Good to see you. We got, I think I've got most of you. Barry Glenn's probably lagging behind. There he is. There's Barry Glenn. We got Joe. We got all the Glens. The whole Glenn family are here today. All right, I've got to stop dicking around because we got so much to cover today. This app is really huge. Quickly, I need to do some stuff. Tomorrow is Camp G May, Creator Rewind. He's coming back on. We're going to talk about his festivals. We're going to play some highlights from the festivals. It's going to be a Camp G May-a-thon. And you know what? Camp G May always brings good times. So that should be really fun. Friday, US UK time. We're taking a look at Photometer. This is like the extension of the app Pixelmator, which was purchased by Apple a little while ago. It's kind of controversial, but we'll talk about it because it needs to be covered, I think. And yes, the Creative Hour is back this week where we're doing industrial music. And that leads us all up to, well, the rant coming up this week, which it's going to be my 53rd birthday on the same day that the Songtember kicks off. So very exciting. I love Songtember. It's always my birthday on the kickoff, and I get to kick it off, and it's all fun. I think Pete's doing his kickoff on the day before. So there is that. 53, huh? Oh, yeah. All right, that's all the stuff that's coming up. Today we're taking a look at Oscidia from 4Pockets. And man, is this thing a beast. There's a lot going on. You may get overwhelmed by it, but you just be assured we'll do some presets. We'll try and go through as much as I can. Paul from 4Pockets has 2 fantastic videos already up. I've linked them down in the description, so if I don't get through everything, you've always got the developers' videos, which he's really stepped up and created some great videos, yeah? Nothing like, I'll tell you what, the only problem with Paul, I listen to his voice and it's so soothing. I start to... He's got a very soothing voice is what I'm saying. But yes, this is $14.99. It works on your iPad, on your iPhone, and it works on your Mac because it is compatible all in the one price, so $14.99. Leela's joined us. Hello, Leela. Great show. Thank you very much for the dump and all that jazz, or redirect. We wouldn't want to say dump, would we? Anyway, good times. $14.99. It's a winner. It's for that. You wait till you see what it can do. Woo! It's crazy. All right, we got a demo. Let's get into it. Jenny Show Leve. Hello to you. Right now in this project I have, Russ is probably watching as well. Hi, Russ. We've got 4 copies of Oscidia running here. I've got a Playbeat 4 just for some rhythmic stuff. And over here, Zach Thong, hello. We've got Euclidean. Man, just the thing about Paul and 4Pockets, let's talk about this just quickly. I want to say, Paul is one of, I don't want to make him feel old, one of the longest developers for iOS. Yeah, he's been there right from the beginning. And he's even got an old channel. If you search long and hard enough, you'll find one of his old channels, which has a lot of his old apps that aren't available anymore. Don't ask me how I found that. But his apps cover things like effects, synthesizers, to generative apps, to chord stuff with like progressions, helium, which you can use inside of AUM. His apps are so broad and so different and so unique. People... and you either love or hate them, the design, but they have changed over time. Paul he thinks outside the box and continues to... Here's the trick. From my time doing this show, normally when Paul makes something, there's a whole bunch of apps that follow Paul. It just is what it is, yeah? So, Paul's awesome and his apps are great, and this synth is beautiful. So we've got Euclidean controlling this. I've got a bunch of little pages here in Euclidean, so I can flip through, and I've got some little presets in there. I can control on my MIDI keyboard down here, so I can just control it from here. We've got some drums. Shut up, Jade. Just play it, will you? Let's do it. Wow, delicious. So that's only 4 of the sounds that are in there being played. And this thing is so customizable, it is utterly ridiculous. We are going to open this up, go through all the settings, run through as many presets as I possibly can. So you're going to need to load this as a instrument. So in Logic or wherever it is, GarageBand, load it up as an instrument. Up here, we're using AUM today. So we're going to find Oscidia. It has just had an update as well too with some bug fixes and something really cool I like. I'm going to connect my MIDI keyboard to this. So I'm using the MIDI input section here and using my Arturia key step. That's now done. Here is the interface. Let's run through it. So the first thing, as always with Paul's apps, is up in the top corner, we've got our little main menu box. Now there's a few different ways to select this. You'll notice with Paul's apps, he has a little chevron up in the corner up here. If I can zoom in, can't see it now. It's because it's out of the shot. Good stuff, Jade. There's a little chevron and there's a little arrow that swipes down. So if I just tap, I'll show you with my finger. Yeah, so you see if I just tap, it gives me a little drop box like that. Let's show you both sides. And if I instead swipe down, it's going to give me a custom color editor. But if I hold down, it's going to give me a whole lot of other things like color scheme. So I can come in here and change all the color scheme of the app. So you can do whatever you want, yeah? Totally do whatever you want. Paul has added this. Now, this is very rare, I think, for Paul to add this. I saw somebody leave a comment on his video saying, I really love the app, it's fantastic, but the background colors here, these little stripes here, they're very distracting. Can we get rid of those? And Paul obliged. So if you hold down up the top here, you can now remove the background and just have a plain black background. I like that. I'm very plain and very boring, so that suits me. You can even turn off the 3D cell shading. So down here, these cells, you can see they'll come back on and have a little fade underneath them. So that's nice. See, this it pays, man, to reach out, leave a comment, make suggestions. Don't just complain and cry and go, oh, I don't know. Tell the developer, man, and I'll look after you. Revent 2215, hello, Mr. Smith, g'day. If I've missed you, and I'll try and keep watch of what's going on. There's a lot to cover. Revenant says, bought this as soon as it was released Sunday night, my time. The app is unbelievable. Not only oscillators, sequencer, it is bonkers. It is really something else. So again, hold down and you're going to get these color options. If you swipe down quickly, you're going to get the custom color editor, which you can have at, I'm not going to fiddle around with that, you get it, you can mess around and change colors. But if I just tap it once, we get our normal options. Here, we get the option to click our init preset, so go back to the initial preset. We've got our WaveTable manager in here, which you can bring up at any time. We'll go back to and all the windows that you can open now with Paul's apps, you can drag, move around, all this kind of stuff, yeah? Also in here, we've got a program change bank set up. I'll cover this now quickly. So if you've got some presets that you would like to, so this preset bank assignment, just so you're playing live and you want to add a bank to this and you want to set this up to a MIDI controller and you just want to switch to a bunch of favorite presets, you can actually do this. You can come in here and you can pick an entire default user bank and say, let's add this whole bank in here. Now the entire leads bank is in here and you can set up to add your MIDI controller to switch between all of these. And you can drag and drop these. This is rad. So I might just want to take this bass sweep. Can I think I can do it. Can I pick it up? I can't remember how to do it now. There you go. Good on you, Jade. You fucked it all up already. But you can add these things in. You can delete the whole lot, you can clear it all out, but that is something more for live performance. In here also is the color scheme editor you can get from here. Settings, let's talk about settings. So key knob, vertical, horizontal, effect ordering. So this changes the effects that are in here, like the effect change. So you can move the huss down the bottom here. You could put the digital reverb up the top. So you can actually mess about with the chain of effects in order up here. Pretty nice little feature. You've got an you've got aftertouch if you want to turn that on, MPE mode if you've got an MPE controller. Your poly, you can select 8, 12, 16 for polyphony, completely up to you. Obviously, older iPads, you want to keep it around 8. You can go all the way up to 12, 16, set polyphony, and all that jazz. Back to our settings, we've got display update, 60 frames. So if you've got an older iPad as well too, you can change this down to 30 frames just to save a little bit of guzz on your iPad, yes? Yes. So lots of memory saving stuff in here as well, which is very thoughtful. We've also got our MIDI control, which is on, and allow full screen mode. Let me show you allow full screen mode. So now you see when this is smaller, now this reshapes as you move it around, right? So you can reshape it. But currently we have this whole screen on here. We've got this page and this page. You can come in here to the settings and turn this to screen mode off, and you will only now get just one screen, kind of like Paul's other apps. Some of them are like this all the way. So to move about, you would need to swipe to the side here. Just showing you with my finger. iPad's a bit crooked. You can swipe up and down to get to them. So that's up to you. Now, this is really good if you're using an iPhone. All right. So you can set it so it's never going to try and be two at once. And again, we can come in here, hit the settings, scroll to the bottom and turn that back on. So we've always got both of these at any size you want. Double tap, full screen. So this even works if you come in here and turn this to off and then we go full screen. It's going to resize anyway. Mr. Smith, thank you very much. Georgie John's got, look at that. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Georgie Johns, bang, she scores it. On you, Georgie Johns. And on you, Mr. Smith, you rock. So, where are we? Let's make sure this is set to what I like. Allow full screen on. Okay. Now, this is a 3 oscillator synthesizer with a optional noise here as well. You've got tabs across the top. A performance tab gives you access to your amp filter, amp filter envelope, your filter envelope. The volumes of each of these oscillators can be controlled and panned. You have a sub oscillator as well, which can be decided over here. You've got saws, triangle, squares. You've got your noise volume and an output. All these can be panned and the output has a stereo width. But let's walk over to our preset pack. Let me just say, when you first download Paul's app, please just do this, search for it, open it up as a standalone. A little message will pop up and that will unlock all of the presets, so they'll be available. Just open it up as a standalone first. You'll get a little warning. So let me mute this for a second. I want to show you something else in the standalone. Before I forget, here's our standalone. I'm going to quickly choose just a sound here. This is one of my favorite sounds on here. This sound here, it's called Glass Keys. It's so nice. There he is, G May, coming on the show tomorrow. So the reason I wanted to show you this in standalone, down the bottom, the standalone version has a keyboard, on-screen keyboard. But if you head over here to this little keyboard button, you now have an MPE keyboard. MPE. So you have an MPE keyboard built in here if you don't actually have a real one. That's available in the standalone version if you want to mess about with that. There are lots of AUv3 keyboards as well too if you want to do all that. Let's close this, come back over to AUM. And here we are. So let's talk about the presets. You can access the presets by tapping the little presets section up the top. I know I'm flying pretty fast today, but we got a lot to get through. You can tap this preset or you can just hold down and you'll get a search bar. So then you could type bass in here and all the bass things are going to appear. Nice little touch there. So that's just a tap and hold and there's your little search bar. Or you can swipe down and it'll load any favorites that you have, which we will cover. Or you can just tap on it and you'll get your little preset folder here. Pretty standard for Paul's presets, yeah? You've got a section here which are your banks. You can create new banks, like so. New, we'll just call it new because whatever, bang. You've got a new bank now, you've got a user bank and your default bank over here. You can delete banks, rename them. Within each bank, you have groups and all of the presets are set to bass, keys, lead, pads, percussive, sequence, and strings. Again, you can delete groups, create groups, rename groups, and here are where your presets are. Something that's new in here, I like this. Now, I mentioned to you that this sound, this glass keys, I really like this one. If I hold now over to the right-hand side of the preset, did it work? Oh, no! What happened? No! That wasn't meant to happen. Man. We'll get over it, won't we? So let's see if we can get this to work now. Come over here. Set a preset. Where's my little keys? You should be able, oh, it's a double tap, sorry. Double tap. Did it work? Didn't work. I can't get it. Oh, there you go. Look, and it puts a little star next to it. So that is how you set a favorite. Just double tap here. Oh, 1, 2. There you go. And it puts a little star. Double tap again, and it'll get rid of your star. If you've got multiple favorites, come over here to this and swipe down, and there are your favorites. Okay, so that's where your favorites go if you need to know where they are. God, we nearly had a calamity there, didn't we? You can delete these. You can also load up from the bottom. So you want to export some stuff. Let's try and bring my toolbar up and open the Files app. I'm just going to come over here to iCloud Drive, and in here, you can actually remove this. Come on, dude. You can pick up these and just go and save them in here. So you can just go and drop them in there. That's completely up to you. So there you go. There's the piano preset. You can also do this with groups. So I might want to, hey, Sean Chandler. You can also grab this entire user group here and drag this and dump that in there as well too. And look at that. It's created the entire bank. And when you click on it, all the pads are in here and all the sounds, they will load. It's just doing its thing. It's taking some time to do that. But you can go, I don't think there's anything in those. That's why that happened. So let's delete this. I'll show you with there's a default. So even you can grab one of these too, like the whole pads, and just dump them in here as well too. Click on the bass, and there are all those in there. So very easy to drag and drop. You can drag and drop in, drag and drop out. Happy days. Yeah, 4Pockets were one of the first to adopt. You know what? Ed's right here. Nearly every new feature that Apple add to their apps, Paul is one of the first people who adopts them. You know, it just is what it is. So you can delete this if you don't want it. Let's scooch that over there. So there's our presets. What else do I have to cover about presets? We can come back if we need anything else. Rename, save, all that kind of stuff. Boom. Poly mode. We've got a poly mode. We've got legato, poly. You can decide, switch, mono. That's in mono mode. Now we're in poly. You know the deal. Poly. We can play chords. Oh, isn't that so 80s? Yeah, so 80s. See you later, Cam Gmail. See you tomorrow. Cam Gmail on the show tomorrow. You've got a velocity button here. So if you turn this off, every note you hit on your keyboard is going to be the exact same. Turn on velocity and you've got... You can decide the velocity. We have a MIDI panic button in case you get a stuck note. Boom, click the panic. It's going to sort it out. Mono on and off. So what this is, as I said, we've got 3 oscillators here. These are your 3 oscillators across the top. And on our performance page at the very beginning, we have volumes for these. So oscillator 1, 2, and 3, you can see there. If I have mono turned on, it means each of these oscillators are going to be in mono. If I turn it off, all of these are going to be in stereo. You can also pan these babies. Let's start doing some wild panning with these. Yeah, so you can hear that in your headphones if you've got them on. Those oscillators are being panned now. Double tap, and this will bring them back. It's double tap anything, and it'll bring it back to, or maybe not that. Maybe not that. Bounce. Bounce is for the panned notes from left to right. So you can actually make them with the panning. You've got your panning set here. You can make them bounce from left to right. So each oscillator is bouncing back and forward. Really nice touches there. And finally on the end up the top, we've got a limiter. Turn it on and the limiter's on. If you hold down instead, you get options to set your limiter target to -1 dB, all the way up to -12 dB. Totally up to you what you want to set the limiter, if you want it on or off. We are at the performance page, halfway through. Man, there's a lot to cover. Okay, so over here we've got a sub mode. This changes your sub from, we've got a sine, saw, square, triangle. There's all your, yeah, let's do it. We'll run the commercial. Boom. Have we done it? We'll do it now. Ad has been run. You may or may not get an ad. Wait for people to get back. I'll have a moment to take a drink. We run the ad at the same time, so if you are going to get it, you get it. We wait for you to come back. You could get it. You might not get it. Somehow you play far more happy melodies yesterday. Maybe, you know. All right, someone got an ad. They're probably back now. So let's get back here. Have a vape. Thanks, Thomas, for banging the link in there. So just to start off, this sub mode, we've gone through. You can choose sine, saw, square, whatever you like. The sub can be found over here. It must be turned up for you to hear it. Let's turn everything else down. There's the sub. There's the sine sub, saw, square, triangle. Now, if we bring everything else back into the mix here, sounds great, doesn't it? So that sub can go right up too. Oh, let's go really low. Or lower. Oh, sounds like when I had that curry 3 weeks ago. It's a pretty terrific little sub to have in there. I think it's wonderful. Let's go over here. We've got our bend range for our keyboard. Yeah. And we can decide what that is, 5 semitones. We can go all the way up to 12 semitones. So you got total control there. The default is 2 semitones. We've got a portamento. Yeah, so we can turn on our portamento. Let's go into a mono. And actually, our legato, sorry. Woo! So all that's good. You can decide how long the portamento glide is. You can take it all the way down. So it's very instant. Or a bit of length. That's what she said. Ooh. Zach Thong says, I've been using GarageBand and got my sound through. That is awesome, dude. So good to hear you on GarageBand. I saw you mention it around. Let's turn off portamento. Portamento? Hubba hubba. We'll go back to Polly here. Turn off the glide. So those are those little sections down there. Of course, we've got an amp filter here, amp envelope. And we can turn up the attack, of course, and get a nice pad. So this is your ADSR. Nice. Yes, the old portamento. Get on with it, Jade. So very easy. Turn these bells into. Let's take out some of that sub. And you get a nice slow attack, fast attack, completely up to you. I'm going to bring back these back to the center. Also, we've got a filter envelope as well, which you can control from here too. We'll cover more of the filters soon. As I said, these are your volumes for your oscillators. You also have a noise oscillator if you want to add that in. Let's turn all these down. All of these, so the oscillator 1, 2, 3, and the noise can be accessed up here. So we might, if we want to change the noise, we can go for pink noise, brown noise. We can change the level. We've got a filter mode, high pass, low pass. We can turn off the noise. Up to you. Look here, Russ is being a smart ass again. You'll notice a lot of these all have an LFO mod too. So all of these have the ability to add an LFO because there's 4 LFOs. So we're just listening to the noise. You've got a noise filter. You can pan from here, change the level from here, all of that good stuff. Let's bounce back to our performance page and turn down the noise. And we'll bring these back up here. Okay, volume for oscillator 1, 2, 3, your sub volume, your noise volume, they all have panning across the top for you to mess about with. And lastly, we've got an output here. And this has, instead of panning up the top over here, it has a stereo width. Pull it all the way down to the bass and you'll go to mono. Turn it up. Delicious. Let's jump into the filters. I'm going to turn these down, or just at least turn all these off. And let's get into just one. So this is just, we're just listening to oscillator 1 now on this tab. And sorry, I coughed. You can turn it off. So now when I hit a key, nothing's being registered. Okay, good stuff. Sine wave. Now, what's really delicious about this is not only do we just have a typical sine wave here, underneath are all these controls. We actually have some wave folding here. So you can get pretty wild. We can decide the folding type. So we're not even into any wavetables or anything, and we already have something that has movement. And you can go nuts. It's so... until you find something right for you. There's also a ring modulation. We've got an X mod. We can coarse tune. Double tap. We can fine tune by sense. There's an overdrive. Yeah, look, this is a very nerdy synth there. It's absolutely. You can change the level from here as well too. You've got a pan, and most of these, I think all of them have this last dial, which is an LFO FM. So if we turn this up, and once we get to our mod matrix, whew, man, so much to cover. So if we go through these, they do change along the way. The saw doesn't have the wave folding. We've got a square. The square has ring modulation, so you can see it has pulse width as well too. So there's that. Triangle. The triangle has wave folding as well. Neat. And we've got a super saw. Which has this beautiful dial at the end here, this mix detune. It does need a 3-hour review. It so does. A super square. What the fuck is a super square? Let's find out. So you got pulse width on this. I'm digging the super square. Let's get to our wavetable. So now all of these oscillators have the same options here, right? So you can mix and match whatever you want. Here's the wavetable section. Good Lord. The possibilities with this wavetable is just wild. So you've got two ways you can do this. You'll notice here we have this morph section up the top and we've got warp mode. Warp mode's currently off. When I just play it with morph off, it's pretty boring. There's no real movement or anything. We've got underneath two dials. So we've got a morph and a morph amount. So you can move this. Dude, there's so many possibilities. But now if we turn on this morph, this is now taking data from our matrix. We've got a matrix here as well too. It's so wild, yeah? So wild. And now we are getting the LFO now is giving us this morphing. Which is just delicious. Not only that, you can change the way you look at the wavetable, yeah? So you've got a 2D view here or a 3D view if you prefer that. You can decide to re-trigger on and off. Way too much to go through. Also, instead of using so this is our morph. We can change the morph as we want. Let's go back to 2D. You get I think it's a nicer representation. The morph amount, how much it's going to morph. Or we can turn this off. So these two, the morph and the morph amount relate to the morph on button. Turn this off, and now we have the warp section. So let's turn this to a sine wobble. And now these two buttons under here, the warp and warp amount, can control how much warp or the type. And you've got a whole bunch of these in here. So now this stands for phase distortion. You've got this one here. And you're probably asking, well, how are these being modulated? Well, this is due to down here with our LFOs. We're almost there. We're almost going to cover all of that. You also, lastly, so you can have both of these on and really get crazy. Just wicked stuff. Also, over here we have these other wavetables. You can import your own wavetables, and there's a massive selection of wavetables. Now, by default, I do believe that these default wavetables are what is used over here. But you can come in and use your own. You can drag and drop these out too. So if I bring this thing over, if I want to grab one of these, I can drag this and save it somewhere and then send it to somebody else, or I can load in my own wavetables. Paul talks about wavetables in one of his videos way more extensively than what I'm going to be able to, about what type of wavetables you can bring in, so check that. There's going to be no time for that. So that's an overall of the wavetables. Lastly, we've got FM. And we've got additive here. We've got FM, if you're looking for more bells. FM2, and we can change all of that here in harmonically. Odd harmonics. We've got a spectral tilt here as well. It's just fucking out there, man. Turn on some more of these. Let's turn on a square. Let's come over here to number 3. We'll turn on a super square, and we'll bring up the volumes. A bit of sub. Ooh. Super. All right, so we've covered our oscillators. Let's bounce down with 15 minutes to go. Should I do another show instead, and at some other point, maybe a pre-recorded show where I go through the presets? LFOs. Let's talk about the LFOs. So with our LFOs, you can see we've got 4 of them. They can be selected down here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can see everything changes as we click through them, so you know which one's going where. If at any time you want to know which LFO is going where, there is a quick check here just by holding down here, and you can see these connections are going to the oscillator 1 pulse width, the oscillator 2 pulse width, and the oscillator 3 pulse width. Click over here, hold down, you can see where all these are going to. Much like any LFO, you can beat sync. So we're on, let's put it to LFO 3, which I think is going to, we'll check, which is going to the morph. So we'll come over here, turn these off. Oops, wavetable. Okay, so we are going to wavetable 1 morph from LFO 3. So we're on LFO 3, you can see it's this slow, long one. We can change the speed. The attack, smoothing. We can beat sync it, which will change it to divisions. All right, we've got a sine, triangle, saw up, saw down, square, and random for some pretty wild stuff. You've got a re-trigger you can set, so each time you, or a note sync. one-shot options as well. I mean, there's so much movement going on there. This is only one. I'm only running at the moment one oscillator, I think. One oscillator. Yeah, that's all that's actually, and the sub. So lots of movement going on. It is just fucking delicious. Now, quickly, I want to come back over here to our, on this wavetable, and look at our matrix again. We'll get to the matrix as quick as I can, and check which one's set to the LFO. Where are we? Pitch, pulse width, drive, oscillator, FM. So here we go. It is the, here we go, the LFO FM. If I turn this up now, we can see here that LFO2 is going to this FM, and this works, so it's set to oscillator 1, 2, and 3 FM, right? Turn it down. But what I want to show you is really sweet, is down here with the LFO, we have this delay. So I can drag this delay. Or was it locked? Delay locked due to, we're set to sync. Let's turn it off. Number 2. So if I drag this delay up and the attack, watch. It's got a currently set to 2.32 second delay. So it's going to play the sound, and then that LFO over here is going to come into action. We can decide how long we want this. There it is, comes in. Just fucking delicious. Whew. There's so much more to cover. It's ridiculous. All right, you get the idea with the LFOs. VCF here. You have in here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types of filters. Now the SEM works really good with resonance. You've got a ladder, we've got a formant. Your cutoff is down the bottom here. So just down the bottom, we've got cutoff, resonance, envelope amount. You've got a filter drive. You've got a morph in here, right? Now this is wild. You can morph. And you can even set that to an LFO, the morph, so it actually starts, or in the sequencer. It's just so much to cover. 10 minutes, no way. Let's just flick through. We're probably going to have to do another show. I think we may do another show, I think on Friday or something, where I go through all the presets because it's just so huge. 4 filters in here. So that was the VCF, yeah, for our filter types. We've got ADSR. We've got an amp envelope. We've got another filter envelope here, and these can be controlled by the performance tab. So you can see this amp envelope and filter envelope. If I change the volume, change it here, you can see it moves over to the right-hand side as well. So all of those can be controlled. So these are normal filters, as you would. We've got a second one, and we have also here this these 2 filters, which can be FEGs, and you can get more complex and add your own sections in here for far more complex stuff. You've got a loop mode, so you could decide between 2 of these and set a loop so they bounce within the section. You can ping pong. You've got options here, the length, that's what she said. And you've got 2 of these that can be FEGs or ADSRs. They can be controlled up here, the filter and the amp, these 2. or controlled down here. The mod matrix will quickly go through to add something in here. So pretty simple. You've got all your sections across the top, the FEGs, LFOs, everything across the top, pitch bends. When you load up when you load up the default preset, just let me show you, you will always have in this matrix this setup. So you'll have your pitch bend set, your oscillator pulse width, LFO1, the oscillator FM set to LFO2, the morphs and the warps set to LFO3 and 4, but you can come and change them. It's totally up to you. How do you add something? So this oscillator 1 wavefold, I might want to add to LFO1. So all you do is tap and drag. So to the right for more and to the left for less. And that's it. That's how you add a mod matrix in here. To delete, double tap. To add a new one, just start dragging. And that's pretty easy to add all of this stuff. Again, I'm not going to be able to go into too much because we're running out of time. Woo! Effects. There's effects. Did I see Justine here? If I did, hello, Justine. You got digital reverb. So we got some reverb. You got your size, color, and mix. You've got a chorus, a wide chorus. You've got a digital delay. We'll turn that on. You can sync it. Totally up to you. You've got your feedback, typical, stuff for a delay. And you've got this Haas. And there's even a phaser. Last but not least, with 7 minutes to go, and then we'll quickly do some presets. This is the crazy stuff. So we have a sequencer in here too. And this can be done, so it also has an ARP in here. To turn this thing on, you want to enable. We've got a little enable button up the top here. And now you can see we're bouncing. Holding down multiple notes are going to create chords. Within this, you also have 3 ARPs. These 2 are turned off. To turn them on, you've got a little on button down here. We've only got A running at the moment. You can change the pitch. We can go up and drag up and down on any of these sections to change the pitch of this sequence. You might want to drag this out and go 16. There's a little handle there that you can drag out. You've got velocity in here, so you can change the velocity. You've got probability, so we can turn these down. You've got gates. If I tap up in the top corner, we also have, there's 3 pages. So you've got pitch, velocity, probability, and gates, cutoff, morph, repeats, and ties, oscillator mixes. Now this is really interesting. We've already set our oscillator mix up the top here, but this can add more to this on top of that. So you can just do these random mixes like so, up and down. See how it changed the level there? So you're actually changing the levels within this. It's not changing this, it's just changing on top of what you already have. So your submix, it's just so deep and ridiculous. You can change the speed, you can transpose, decide if you want to move forward, backward, ping pong, completely up to you. It's going to get to the end, bounce back and go the other way. And there it goes back. So you got all these options. I love drunk. It's just going to hang there and then just go back. Just do whatever it wants. So drunk's pretty fun. You got random gating, chords. For playing chords, the other thing I want to show, let's just pick a thing. I'm going to go over here to sequences because we do have sequences already in here. And these are rad, right? Let's just pick this rhythmic chord one. So if I hold down a chord now, Just a word of advice, when you're using the sequence ones, always check the pitch here. Now you can see with this particular one, all the pitches are set to 0 because there's so much going on with this. It doesn't need to have any pitches, right? So this is super interesting. Now, you know when you normally use a arpeggiator and you hit down 3 chords, like so, it takes on whichever note you hit first. And as humans, we're not perfect and you'd never know which one's going to hit first. Well, Paul's enabled this little feature here. So now if I hold down some chords, it may hit the wrong note, not the first, the lowest note is what I want. With beat align turned on, it's always going to be able to play the right notes. And you can change it midway. But you'll notice when I hit the chord, there's a delay. See how there's a little delay there? And that works really good for when you get to the end of the sequence. And you time it. Now, the one thing I want to tell you, this beat align thing, you really only want to have this activated when you're performing live. If you're using this in a DAW and all the notes are already on the beat, turn that off, right? Because it's already going to be able to handle it. It's just because our fingers, and you can play single notes. And there's a heap of these in here, yeah? So you can see this one has pitch data in here, so it's going to be a little bit different. If I hold a chord now, it's not going to work because it's all kind of out because of the notes here. So make sure you look for any of these ones in the... So this one here, it has all 0 pitches. We haven't covered any of the presets. So you let me know if you think I should do a preset video on this and upload it for you guys. Also, BPM set to the DAW. You can change the key. You've got scales in here as well to override if you want. You've got a master reset and, I mean, you can randomize the shit out of it too. Look at all this. I can randomize everything in this. So just select all and just hit randomize. Boom, let's drag this out. Boom. Hit randomize. It's just fucking wild. Even when you open things like the browser or the little randomize section, you can drag this around, take it off the screen over there. So look, we're at the end of the show. Thomas has got to go. How about we do a preset demo? I'll just sit here and pre-record it and pop it up on the channel. There's so much more. Please go, and because I haven't been able to cover everything at all, but you get the idea. This thing is fucking deep. It's so deep. It's so warm. It's so beautiful. There's so much you can make from it. It's up there with, I think, something like Synthmaster. That's my opinion. It's probably one of the best synths I've played this year. It is just beautiful. There's so much to mess about with, and we'll do a preset video for you all. Thomas Christ is up next. Thanks, Paul, for offering codes and sending me a code as well to do a show. Hey, we'll do a pre-record. I'll just run through all the presets for you so you can get an idea and see how we go. $14.99 on the iOS App Store. Go and support Paul. He's put so much work into this. I know because I've been on the beta. He's put so much work in. $14.99. Best synth of the year so far. Do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better. We'll all rise together. Stay awake, and I'll see you at Thomas Christ. Let's OG.